VIP Level Podcast. Real talk from the streets. Real topic for the people.
When I want to unwind, be entertained, and stay informed, VIP Level Podcast is the place I choose to be.
Every time that a creator trod the earth, or the creator trod to a certain structure, there is always skepticism and his him. Jah Rastafari trod through this earth and been trotting through this earth for many, many thousands of years. Long before there was America, when there was no England.
First I want to know that I Selassie lives and rules and
until the philosophy which old one race superior and another inferior is finally and permanently discredited and abandoned. And run away, live to fight another day. Put the heat and back day on the wall. Put the heat and back day on the wall. Put the heat and back day on the wall. Put the heat and back day on the wall. As a man, so shall he reap. And I know that talk is cheap, but the hotter the battle, a victory. Put the heat and back day on the wall. Put the heat and back day on the wall. Put the heat and back day on the wall. Put the heat and back day on the wall. Put the heat and back day on the wall. Put the heat and back day on the wall.
When I want to unwind, be entertained, and stay informed, VIP Level Podcast is the place I choose to be.
If you wanna live, treat me good. If you wanna live, I beg you.
VIP Level Podcast. Real talk from the streets. Real topic for the people.
Like a walking razor, don't you watch my size, I'm dangerous. Said I'm dangerous. I'm like a walking razor, don't you watch my size, I'm dangerous. Dangerous. If you are a bully, treat me good. If you are a bully, I beg you treat me good. I'm like a stepping razor, don't you watch my size, I'm dangerous, dangerous. I'm like a stepping razor, don't you watch my size, I'm dangerous, dangerous. If you are a jockey, nobody jockey from me. If you are a jockey, nobody jockey from me. Yeah. I'm like a the stepping race. Don't watch my size, I'm dangerous.
Merchant, frontline soldier. Here is a true story. True story of a mama living in a war zone.
Yeah, man. Well, this is the Merchant.
Merchant, frontline soldier. Here is a true story. True story of a mama living in a war zone. And for the first time, mama, you're on the front line. Living in a war zone. Oh Lord. And for the first time, mama, you're on the front line. Get up pretty round here. Mama, it's sticky and it bloody round here. Babylon get merciless and don't care. And them a shoot down the youths there. Oh God. Woman, I feel the pain that you're feeling. Oh mercy, mercy. Holding the dead body of a son you love. Yeah. Woman, I see the tears that your heart's crying. Lifting your head to the sky, crying out to Jesus. Living in a war zone. Oh. And for the first time, mama, you're on the front line. Living in a war zone.
Greetings, Massive and crew, and welcome to VIP Level Podcast. Real talk from the streets, real topics for the people. I'm your host, DJ Real Talk, and I hope each and everyone had an amazing week. You have given the best of yourself in all you're doing. Massive, you have been listening to the voice of Bob Marley, War, and Heathen, Peter Tosh with Steppin' Razor, and The Merchant with Warzone. Well, it's Friday, the most beautiful and rewarding day of the week. It's the day that most of us do get paid. We do have the weekend off to be who we want, where we want, and how we want to be. But in all you're doing, be safe and be lawful. Massive, as I examine the trending stories and viral news affecting us on a global scale, it would seem as if someone has opened the door of hell upon humanity. Every corner of the world is presently involved, engaged, and engulfed in one form of conflict or another. And it forces me to ask the question, what in God's name is going on? Recently in France, the citizens have taken to the streets in protest against radical governmental changes to their system, their way of life, and their living standards.
More than 1 million people in France are revolting over the president's forced increase to the pension age, taking to the street.
America seems to have declared war on all countries that have refused to accept their LGBT agenda.
Uganda's president is drawing international condemnation after signing one of the world's toughest anti-LGBTQ laws.
We have no choice but to stand our ground.
We have our tradition, we have our customs. We will continue to respect other people's customs as they respect our customs.
United States President Joe Biden called the move a tragic violation of human rights.
Their first form of retaliation against these countries are sanctions and withholding or stopping of aid. Such countries include Uganda, Kenya. Other countries that frown upon the act of homosexuality includes Qatar and Dubai, to name a few. the U.S. has revoked the visas of Uganda's Speaker of Parliament. This is very hypocritical, as the U.S. seems to currently have no problems with some of its allies, like Saudi Arabia, the UAE, and Qatar, who have even stricter gay laws. It's painfully obvious that our human rights are under attack, and war has been declared upon our children through the school curriculum backed by government legislation and policy and enforced by the law.
I would thank you all for allowing me to speak to you tonight, but you tried not to allow it, yet here I am. Now, you only give us 60 seconds, so let me get to the point. You are all child abusers. You prey upon impressionable children and indoctrinate them into your insane ideological cult, a cult which holds many fanatical views, but none so deranged as the idea that boys are girls and girls are boys.
Parental authority is being challenged, undermined, and the personal freedom of people, citizens, are being stolen, taken away under the name of national security. We are being censored, silenced, jailed, and murdered for our opinion and our sovereign's right. We are forcefully being medicated through the water, the food, and we are still being experimented on through social programs, lied to and brainwashed through all different forms of media outlets, without seeing any evidence of punishment or repercussion as a result of these criminal action against humanity. In the meantime, and between time massive, let's keep the positive vibe alive with some good reggae music.
Crying out for justice. Everyone is crying out for peace, yes. None is crying out for justice. I don't want no peace. I need equal.
VIP Level Podcast. Real talk from the streets. Real topic for the people.
When I want to unwind, be entertained, and stay informed, VIP Level Podcast is the place I choose to be.
Everyone is crying out for peace, yes. None is crying out for justice. Everyone is crying out for peace, yes. None is crying out for justice. I don't want no peace. I need equal rights and justice. I need equal rights and justice. I need equal rights.
rat race, rat race. Get up, stand up for your right. Get up, stand up for your right. Get up, stand up for your right. Get up, stand up, don't give up the fight. Preacher man, don't tell me heaven is under the earth. I know you don't know what life is really worth. It's not all that glitter is gold. Half the story had never been told. So now you see the light. Hey, stand up for your right. Come on, get up, stand up for your right. Get up, stand up, don't give up the fight. Get up, stand up for your right. Get up, stand up, don't give up the fight. Most people think great God will come from the sky, take away everything and make everybody feel high. But if you know what life is worth, you would look for yours on earth. It's not just a war of survival, it's a war of survival of a people, a rascal thing. We don't want our children come blood clot suffer in the streets again, man, like how we suffer. No, our children look to it.
When I want to unwind, be entertained, and stay informed, VIP Level Podcast is the place I choose to be.
This morning, I woke up in a curfew. Oh God, I was a prisoner too. Yeah, could not recognize the faces standing over me. They were all dressed in uniforms of brutality. Hey, how many rivers do we have to cross before we can talk to the boss? Hey, all of we got, it seems we have lost. We must have really paid the cost. That's why we're gonna be burning and looting tonight. I said we're gonna burn and loot. Burning and looting tonight. One more thing. Burning all pollution tonight. Oh yeah, yeah. Burning all illusion tonight.
Yes, Massive and Crew, this is DJ Real Talk, and you are listening to VIP Level Podcast. Real Talk from the streets, real topics for the people. You have been listening to the voice of Bob Marley, Rat Race, Peter Tosh, Equal Rights, Bob Marley, Get Up, Stand Up, and of course, Burning and Looting. No, Massive, today's discussion surrounds the many conflicts around the world that are greatly affecting humanity's growth and development. Let's begin with what could be considered as the start of World War III, where we are guaranteed to see the demonstration of nuclear power, chemical and biological weaponry, AI, robotic, and laser technology. Ukraine, a country that is unable to finance the war between them and Russia, is being supported by the West.
Ukraine is losing on this battlefield.
We don't care. The United States and NATO, we do not care how many Ukrainians die. not civilians, not women, not children, not soldiers. We do not care.
The fact that Ukraine is used by the West as a testing ground and the West doesn't care about the fate of its population at all can be illustrated by London's decision to supply Kiev with shells with depleted uranium.
America has been sending all kinds of weapons, including the Patriot missile system. England has contributed long-range missile, and Canada has been sending volunteers and financial support. Because of these evidence, could it be argued that the West is fighting a war against Russia under the guise of helping Ukraine? Certain countries in Africa are talking about joining the war. Africa, a continent that has never been united or stand in solidarity for one African cause, is planning to fight someone else's war. Africa, who has never stand for its people or helped those to come back home after the abolishment of slavery and the downfall of colonialism. Africa, we are not a nation of war. At the moment, we are still conquered people who are still under the boot heel of colonialism and the mercy of our enemy. They feed us, clothe us, shelter us, and protect us. So let us begin our fight, our struggle with us and the system that has been trampling us down for so long. The Russian people has always been united, and they are more than capable to defeat all threat against their country. Israel iron gripped on the Palestine, and the Arab nation might be getting weaker as their military capabilities improve and their resources increase. Recently, Palestine challenged Israel by launching over 100 missiles in the state as a retaliation against recent activities, including the bombing of a mosque. Israel has an impenetrable defense system called the Iron Dome that easily deflected such attempt. The United Nations has stated that Israel continues to carry out crime against the Palestine people and covert military operation against American citizens on their soil without any repercussion.
Israel has hypnotized the world. May Allah awaken the people and help them to see the evil doings of Israel and the United States.
The LGBT community seem to have declared war against the nuclear family and the heterosexual, as they demand through governmental policies to have the right to teach children about homosexuality and transsexualism. There are already laws in place changing the English words to suit their agenda. Take a look at some of these highlights and parental concerns.
You can't come in my country teaching my children foolishness. Don't come in this country. Now you want to be in England and you can teach them all them boogery things you want to teach them. You can teach them whatever you want to teach them in England, but not in the Bahamas.
We don't start opening our mouths. They are coming for our children. They're already there. They're already coming for them in the cartoons. They're already coming for them in the miseducational, misdirectional system. They are coming for your children. Why? They can't have children.
There's no such thing as someone else's child. No such thing as someone else's child. Our nation's children are all our children.
These are kids. These are our kids. They belong to all of us.
When we talk about the children of the community, they are the children of the community.
Love and hate can never be friends. Oh no. Oh no. Here I come with love and not hatred. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow I all the days of my life. Envy no one, no wish to be with no evil man. For they'll come all the days of our life. Yeah. Oh yeah, now. Oh yeah. All right. Here I come with love and not hatred. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow us all the days of our life. Envy no one, no wish to be with no evil man. For there'll come the day when you'll be whipped by the Father's hand.
I didn't behold until the throne was cast down, yeah. I'm the ancient of days, King Haile Selassie, I die. You know, with his garment is white as snow.
Yes,
his hair is pure as wool.
Yes, massive. The vibes is up and the energy is right. Now you have been listening to the voice of D Brown, Love and Hate, Sizzler, Praise Ye Jah. Now another viral story is the war against the dollar and the possibility of it being replaced by the digital currency. Even though the digital money has been a part of our society since the days of credit card, debit, and interact, it's said that the new form of digital currency will have lots of restrictions and control attached to it.
We're about to abandon the traditional system of money and accounting and introduce a new one. And the new accounting is what we call blockchain. It means digital. It means having a almost perfect record of every single transaction that happens in the economy.
A cashless society is coming.
The dollar won't go down. If the dollar goes down, China will be the one hurts the most. US will benefit from the dollar going down.
China is the leading example of a cashless society, and countries like Nigeria is forcing their citizens to adapt. Jamaica and other countries have announced to do the same.
Human being exchanging cash and so on, that is going to disappear from the banking system very soon. And you are going to have to interface with machine. We all have to embrace.
Florida's latest immigration bill has united the Latin community tighter and stronger than they have ever been. And I believe that united we stand and divided we fall. And finally, our food supply is under attack as many of the food factories and livestock are being destroyed to introduce the new type of food-like products to the market. Let's take a look at some of these concerning footages.
But now, something different. One company is trying to put the meat back in meat alternatives, and some investors are betting big. Here's CNBC's Kate Rogers.
This is real chicken, and so is this and this. Except it's made in labs and commercial food production facilities instead of being raised on a farm. It's called cultivated meat, made from the cells of animals, and is part of a burgeoning industry seeking regulatory approval.
Yo, get to the point. Yeah, this the Rasta man night. Yeah, this the Rasta man and I'm born me chalice when the Yankee gun tight. Yeah, get to the point. Yeah, this the Rasta man night. But no the Babylonian every time. The one on him. Hey, 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 sister can stop love you one another. Hey, 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 sister can start at the fire. Hey, 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 sister can stop love you one another. Hey, 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 hey. Where the best things me good for them. Judgment go set for them. Tell the black woman say Rastafari. Check for them. Tell the get the youth is the challenge. Say respect for them. Sodomite and boss boy me say I look for them. Watch it make me chop off the poor pal neck for them. Watch it make me chop off the politician neck for them. Born Babylon and me I burn out the Elizabeth for them. Here King Selassie no can't contest with them. Why hey, 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 sister can start at the fire. Hey, 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 sister can stop love you one another. Hey, 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 hey.
they sell more dog food in the stores next to the projects where the people are not permitted to have dogs. And for the first time, I was aware of how many people was eating dog food. Alpo used to have a dog on it. It's no dog on it now because they know humans is eating it. Now, the people that's eating it don't know there's more rigid laws for creating dog food than hamburger meat. But there's something happens to me when I'm reduced to the level that I'm eating what a dog eats. And when you look here, they got salt and seasoning. Well, since when do animals need salt and seasoning? They know who's using
VIP Level Podcast. Real talk from the streets. Real topic for the people.
When I want to unwind, be entertained, and stay informed, VIP Level Podcast is the place I choose to be.
The gay community in Uganda is requesting to have a meeting with you. Would you give them an ear? The homosexuals in Uganda, they are requesting to have audience with you.
What is attracting you in a man to a man? Even now I have not really fully understood it, that you can fail to be attracted to all these beautiful women here and elsewhere.